All right. Testing, testing. Whatever, whatever. Here I go. Well, starting a new game design. Anyone who's interested, Corrupt City is temporarily on hold. I think we're going to talk about where the design needs to go and figure things out. But I was on vacation for a couple of weeks, so now that I'm back, I will be working on something else because I don't want to be idle. And why not? Ideas are here. Okay, cool. Well, here I go. I'm going to be working on a game about liquor. I'm not going to talk about the specifics of the type of liquor. If you're a close friend or know how to get a hold of me some other way, I can tell you specifically what type of liquor. But I'm not going to talk about it because I think it's a really special idea, and I don't really want anyone to take the subject. But anyway, so I'm on ground zero, nothing. I've done some things for the game before, but I'm just going to forget about it all, and we're starting from scratch. So we're going to make a game. Um, we're going to start from the bottom up and say we are a day laborer farmer. I don't want to make a game about farming. So, like, whatever we're pulling out of the ground to make spirits for our liquor, you know, I don't want it to be a game about the top part management. I want it to be more about the worker. Hey, Gabriel, what's going on? No, we haven't given up on Corrupt City. Just going to put it aside for a moment and figure out what direction we're going to go with it and see what we're going to do. It's just me for a little while, probably for the next few days at least, maybe 15 days, I don't know. But see what I can come up with. But I'm down to be here and bullshit or whatever. Um, Actually, I think you would like the subject of this game, but I can't talk about the actual subject. But I'm just saying that we're gonna make liquor. Uh, I want to look at it from the bottom up, from the worker, from the. Okay, so being a teenager, you have to go. Like, if you want to get a day job, one of the things you can do in our part of the world is go hoeing. Um, and in that, you basically show up and the farmer tells you what to do. You know you're going to hoe and you have a pretty good idea that you're going to go out hoeing weeds that day. But the farmer has all this control over what you do. You just show up, you're just a hand, you're unskilled labor, and you have to do stuff. So I kind of want the sense of that where you start out basically giving up an amount of hours. So let's just say for now, I'm just going to put a square here and I'm going to call it 4 hours. I don't know if this will do anything later. Whatever. I know that I have to deal with 4 hour blocks. So we're going to deal with the 4 hour block. And then I want to make a second 4 hour block. Those are going to be regular working hours. And let's say we have another 4 hours. And let's color this one a different color. And we'll just for our own sake, we know that this one is a variable amount of hours that we can use not only in, let's say these are a different color. So these, what we could do is say these are, what's a good color for work? Blue, green, I don't know. Green for money. Let me make these thicker. So I'm starting from scratch, so there's really not a whole lot. And we'll say this, we'll say make two sections. Farming is basically will be in the fields, and then over here we'll say home. I should put leisure, but something like that. And what's going on, Mr. Thunder? Yeah, Sarah's not here today. Let's see. Then, oh, we'll say, we'll say home. I should put leisure, but something like that. And what's going on, Mr. Thunder? Yeah, Sarah's not here today. Let's see. Then, oh, we'll say home. Yeah, Sarah's not here today. Let's see. Then, if I want to make these two kind of areas that we can do stuff in, let's say this one is the green area for now. Okay, so just to get an idea of what I'm doing, sometimes it's hard for people to draw on a blank piece of paper. I'm making sure there's not completely a blank piece of paper. I'm just doing stuff and just fucking with ideas, really. So farming, let's say there's home. Let's say home life is going to be another color. Let's say it's going to be red. And then we have, let's say this one's going to be occupado. This one's going to be occupado as well, because you need time to sleep and other stuff. And let's say these are work hours, and let's say this one is a variable. It can be either one. So let me do something fancy here. So what are you guys up to? I am trying to get back into streaming again since I took a vacation for 2 weeks. It feels weird to be back. And I don't have great ideas right now, but eventually something will come of it, because it always does. I'm lucky that way. What are you playing on Xbox? Right now I'm playing Elden Ring on PS5. And man, I love it. I haven't played it in over 2 weeks though. So I can't. I almost started that instead of streaming, but I'm like, I better get off my ass and actually do something. So here I am. I probably won't be here long, so I can go and play it. Then I'm watching some really good show on Netflix called "Who's the Woman in the Picture." It's a documentary about some weird shit. Let's see. Yeah, Elden Ring is badass, man. I am really enjoying it. Man, it's a damn shame I didn't get to see you while you were up here. But next time, or I'll go down that way, I definitely need some more vacation time. Let's see. Okay, so I have to deal with time in one area, and then I'll also have to deal with turn order. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a turn order thing. I don't know what it is yet. And then let's call this thing over here part of action selection. Oh no, where are you headed to the hospital, man? What's up? Oh, I need to play Warzone, man. It looks cool. Do you got the latest Xbox yet? I'm still running on a generation behind. I still have an Xbox One. I'm really thinking about some point soon getting a new graphics card for the computer, because they're finally at a price that I'm thinking would be cool. Let's call this action area. Action area. Okay. I'll probably have a market. Don't know yet. I might have a field that might, I don't know yet what that's going to be like or what it's going to do. Yeah, I built my computer right before the pandemic. Like, I built it in December, and then, everything went down in, everything went down, what, in March? Oh, no, you can get a decent card right now at a little cheaper than it used to be, man. Like, the top of the line, what I'm looking at is about 1400. So hopefully it'll go down just a little bit more before the new series, before the 4000 series come out. Man, I cannot wait. I'm really excited about it. Yeah. Let's see, that'll be the field area. The other thing I got to think about is in an individual player. It's not going to be happiness, but for now, I'm just going to put player happy. There's going to be a chart that says how happy you are, and then there's also going to be another area that is going to be about your children. Let's see. Call it children. Let me just say area for now. So Gabriel, what about your son? What's he been up to? Is he with you, or is he? Yeah, I just talked to Brent today. He's setting up a practice room for us. I'll be playing in Brownfield on the weekends now with him. Going back to playing drums. It looks like. Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. Like, I have a drum set here, but he's talking about buying a new drum set for over there. It sounds cool. I mean, on one hand, I haven't been playing the drums here because it's so fucking hot. But if I take the drum set over there, then I'll want to practice, and so I won't have access to the drum set. So the drum set will be over there. So it's this real complicated thing. I'm not using the drum set, but as soon as I use the drum set, I'll want to use it all the time. So I need to get an AC unit for my back room, basically. Anyway, we talked today about me going up there and playing with him in August. I guess it's already August. That dude has so much fucking equipment. Since he doesn't get to hang out very much, all he does is buy equipment. I mean, that's it. He just buys lots and lots of equipment. He doesn't even use most of the equipment. He just buys equipment. That's what he does. It's crazy, man. Yeah, man. Back in the day, dude. Back when we still hang out and do a bunch of crazy crap. Let's see. After a child area, happy. Let's see. Player happy area, field, turn order, market, and let's say we'll have investors. Investors. I'll also want to deal with owners, and I'll want to deal with contractors. And then we'll also want to deal with, we have the field, but then you'll also have, I'm going to spell this completely wrong because I suck. Distillery. I know that's wrong. Alright, so turn order, distillery, field, market, investor, contractor, owner, child area, the action area. So the child area is going to go with the player, whether the player is happy as well, and then that's going to feed into this action area here. Oh, I don't really speak to Willis. We've talked a little bit on Twitter. He's still in Florida. He's in the Orlando area. He was a graphic designer for a while. I don't know exactly what he's doing now. He's got an Etsy page, and I forgot what he does on this Etsy thing. Let me check it out real quick. Give me 1 second, I can tell you. Let's see. Maybe I can find out real quick. He's still into like board games. He's still into metal music. He's still Willis. Yeah, he's got an Etsy shop. I think he makes decals. Yeah, he makes stickers, which are really pretty cool. He's under Armored Foe, which is ARMOREDFOE. And on Twitter, he's at Armored Foe, which is, the at symbol and then ARMOREDFOE. I don't know if you do Twitter, but that's where he's at. Yeah, he looks completely different, like all of us. We all look so different now, man. It's crazy. But yeah, okay, where was I at? Children area, player, happy, action area. Okay, the other thing I know I want is a shot glass. So we'll just make. I know it's like a physical thing that's going to exist, which is going to be a shot glass. I'm not trying to draw it all nice and crap. I'm just trying to give you a representation of one, or actually give me a representation of one so that I'll know some of the elements that I'm working with here. Maybe this comes in a little bit. We'll call it a shot glass. Maybe to roll dice in, maybe to do cubes in. It's going to introduce some randomness to the game. Let's see what else. I know that this action area needs to be dictated by the farmer. So let's just put another square or a rectangle, whatever. And we'll go armor. I know that's probably spelled wrong too, but I don't know if you can even see that on the screen. Yeah, man, definitely check them out. Who else have I seen recently from back in the day? I can't think of anybody. I think there was somebody, and I even mentioned that I talked to you, but I don't remember who it was. It's crazy. Let's see. Okay, so the shot glass, we're gonna say helps with making specific blends, we'll say. So the shot glass is going to help us make specific blends. We just use a shot glass as a prop or like a gimmick to put our dice in to roll, or to put our cubes in to throw, or whatever. Oh man, was that 2001? Damn, that was a long time ago. That was back when I was a handsome man. Oh man, that was a long fucking time ago, man. God damn, how time flies for real. 2001. Shoot. 2001. I think I got married in 2008 or something. Something like that. I don't really remember. It's all a freaking blur. Um, let's see. So distillery, we have a field, we have turn order, market, investors, contractors, the owner, the farmer's dictation. We'll have an action selection area. We'll have basically the children area might be tied to the happiness, but basically as we work, we'll have children after we'll have children, not like Agricola, and those children. Yeah, man, I got married. I got married, and I was married for somewhere between 5 and 8 years. Um, and then, yeah, pretty crazy. No kids though. I was in a relationship where we both decided we didn't want kids, and so we didn't have any. So I've got no kids. And then Brent's wife was already done having kids, so she already had her kids, and then he's got grandkids. But I guess they're all step. But I mean, like to him, they're the equivalent of biological. I mean, he's raised them, so it's all good. Let's see. How about Junior? Did Junior ever have any kids? I remember he had some kids, but did he have any new kids? New kids. That's funny. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. I've seen pictures of you guys on Facebook, and it looks like you guys are having a great time, and that's awesome. That is really awesome. Let's see. So, cool. Um, in the game, you'll probably go along for a while, and then at some point, you'll have kids, and those kids will be more actions, but it's not like Agricola. Eventually, like the goal of the game is to either or maybe simultaneously go up the chain at work, and instead of being a general laborer, you want to become a specialized laborer, and as a specialized laborer, you want to be indispensable to the company and value your job. But the other thing you can do is have a child, and eventually you want to make enough money at work to send your child to school so they don't have to work at this plant. So like your first child probably will have to work at the plant, and like the life gets easier as you have more children who can help with bills and whatnot. Kind of like an old school way of thinking. Yeah, you're definitely blessed, man. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. Let's see. So this child area in the player is going to be actually way different, and this should be way different. Of course, this is just to give me some stuff that I'm looking at and I can work on. It's not gonna. I don't think the game will end up looking like a spreadsheet, but this gives me just elements to build one at a time or simultaneously or whatever. I had this crazy idea with, like, okay, so if you think about a worker going to work and not having a lot of control over what they're doing, but they have control about how much time they give to their work, and they can also choose to work extra, or it's not sometimes it's not necessarily working extra. Sometimes it's devoting your mental wellness to work instead of doing home projects. Like right now, thank you, NPC Aaron. It wasn't about asbestos removal. It was about asbestos mining, and this interesting thing about how countries regulate it out, but they sell it to developing nations who have not regulated it because their infrastructure isn't set up to regulate it as fast as some of the Western countries. So it's a really interesting game about that. I think it's a really good game. You should try it. But thanks for commenting on it, NPC Aaron. Where was I going back? I was talking about work and having kids and whatnot. So in the first part of the game, you would have kids, and you probably be wouldn't be under the vice of or over the vice of how work pins you down as an unskilled worker in an area where you don't have a lot of opportunity. So in this game, I would like to reflect the difficulty of getting out of that. Generally, you would have children, and those children can contribute to the household, and you start slowly scaling up. And those kids, unfortunately, have to usually work in the same place as you, but you have a place in. And as money starts accumulating, and as people become more skilled in the family eventually has enough money to send the children or the youngest to college and to get out of the circle that they're stuck in. And I think that the game should reflect that, what it is like to have an ambition to either go up and become a skilled laborer and or have your child go to college, both of those being the end goals, but then also showing kind of how this industry works and the industry of what it is I haven't said, but let's just say it has to do with liquor and not being done in the US and how it really works. So some of that I'll explain here just so that I have a mental note of what I'm trying to say for myself. Everybody else probably knows all this stuff, but like basically you'll have this distillery owns several patches of land where it farms what it needs for its crop that it uses to distill, that they ferment. So also people can bring their own, let's call it a fruit, bring their own fruit to become distilled at this place. And the different manufacturing processes of turning this fruit and getting it fermented and putting it into a bottle is like each step changes the flavor and where the fruit comes from. So the fields are important. The like let's say they're going to put it in a metal drum versus a stone drum. They're going to grind it with a stone grinder versus a metal grinder versus chopping it up. There's just different. I'm trying not to get very specific in this industry because then you'll know exactly what it is. But the distillery, the place where they do all this manufacturing, they have the ability to do just about all of it. And so when you bring your fruit or they pick some fruit from the fields, they can say, okay, so we want to do it. This one we want to do it stone ground. We want to distill it in copper, in big copper pots. And this other one, we want to do metal. We want to grind it with metal, and then we're going to put it in big steel vats. And so they're going to come out very differently. And then they're going to say they're also the process of how much sugar to, I guess whenever, how do they call it? Basically, how potent do you want before you stop it from, stop the yeast from making alcohol. So how potent do you want it? Also, just haven't really thought about all this stuff and how I would say it all. So a little bit is not exactly accurate, but basically that. So at this distillery, they have the possibility to do all that. The farmer or the master distiller is going to pick the right fruit. They're going to put it and they're going to make specific batches. The contractors are going to come and they're going to say, "I want to make this kind of alcohol," and they'll say, "Okay, so here's the process that needed to happen." As a worker, you have the opportunity to move up and work in the specifics and follow the trends. So let's say you want to be really good at working in the metal, in a metal with the metal vat. So you would follow the trend and see. Well, let's say you just want to do the metal vat. You don't care what the trend is. You would move up, get good at certain things, and then that would be what you would do. And then hopefully contracts would come in that want that specific flavor in their liquor. And if they do, well, you have more work and you're more valued. Also, um, this thing is owned outside of the U.S., so it's a lot of U.S. people that'll come in and make these orders and meet with the individuals that are in the fields and meet with the individuals that are the master distillers and all the people that are good at doing their job. So these contractors are in a weird way taking credit for all the work that these lonely farmers are doing. You know, they're special label doing their thing, but all they're doing is bringing a profile, and that profile these workers have to figure out, you know, how to make that happen. And I kind of want to show that as a strange um, aspect of making a small label liquor, and show how it doesn't really affect the worker. The worker's there. The worker has to work this thing. Is he going to do 5 hours for so and so for Mr. Smith, or 4 hours for Mrs. Smith? You know, they don't care, or they might not care about who the contractor is. They're just doing their job, and all these other people are taking credit for what they're doing. And I kind of want to show that. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but I'm going to work on trying to show that. That's probably where I'm going to end it with 30 minutes. I appreciate Gabriel showing up, man. I really appreciate it. Even though I didn't talk to you a whole lot, I tried to. And Mr. NPC Aaron, thanks for showing up, man. I definitely appreciate it. I'm going to end it right there. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Maybe I'll actually have better things drawn up. I'll be thinking about it all day tomorrow at work, so I'll come up with some really cool stuff probably. Hopefully I'll have some visuals. But anyway, catch you guys later. Let me see where the damn stop button is.